Ah, girl, I think you're royalty and you deserve nothing less than my loyalty. You hold me down in return, you get more of me. That's how it feel when you're someone's priority, babe. Now what you gonna do with that? I know you ain't used to that. I'll show you better, babe. I'll show you better. I know you're used to letdowns and heartbreaks.
Oh, wow. We're back once again in the midst of the terrible tragedies of Hurricane Harvey. Our hearts are extended out to the people that are struggling right now, suffering. We just want to take a moment and acknowledge what's going on for people right now, which is a deep struggle. Be mindful. There are a lot of scams going on and, people claiming to want to donate and everything. Make sure if you're giving donations and stuff, you're giving them through a reputable foundation and things like that. I'm a firm believer that a lot of these so-called donations never even actually reach the people that they're allegedly going to. But just wanted to take the time out to say that. Welcome to Grown Folks Business. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Goddess Sierra, and I'm with my beautiful co-host, the lovely Earlene, the goddess herself, the great oracle. Earlene, can you tell the people what's going on with you?
I'm here, and I'm not queer.
I don't know. When I was growing up, queer meant weird, and you're really queer to me. So, really queer to me.
All good,
Yes, I'm here with this weirdo. So, tonight, this is a topic that I was talking with my producer, and we were talking about, I was just venting and ranting and raving about certain things and ideologies that I see going on. And I'm not a television watcher. I'm not into programming. So I went to, look at a couple of things that people were telling me about, so on. And, ooh, did you see this? Did you see that? Certain very popular shows. And it was funny, the disparaging difference in what we saw. Now, I don't know about other races and things like that. I tend to really only pay attention to people that are the same complexion as me. No, not the same nationality as me, but the same complexion as me, which means melanated. And so as I began to watch these, very popular, I call them unreality shows, I saw a very prominent dynamic, which was Ratchet, as they call it, behavior, mental instability, mentally unstable, negative water culture. When you have the 5 elements, melanated people, black people fall under water culture, which means very emotional. And when you don't have those emotional balances in check, you get this term that they call ratchet now. And that term has varied in degrees. It used to be ghetto. It used to be trifling. There's so many aspects of this word that have gone out over the energetic atmosphere. And so the word that we're in 2017 is ratchet. However, this has seemingly taken on a whole nother life of itself because people seem to think that the more ratchet you are, the more real you are, which is outrageous to me. Earlene, have you seen this type of dynamic?
Behavior? The type of behavior? I see it on TV and off TV. It's the culture.
And see, that's a word that confuses me because we use the word culture, and to me, it's a lack thereof. Yes, I have a guest saying it used to be called niggerish. Yes, it did.
Well, you have some people that's like you go around, the creme de la creme, or something like that. That's these people. I mean, it's just the way that they are. Let me see. Did you? Yeah, you came to the last party. Now, did you not see Ratchet amongst the crowd? I mean, really?
I didn't.
Yes, you did. Okay, you just being nice. Ratchet was there. Okay, it was live. It was there. Okay. I don't judge the Ratchet people, but I mean, you got to eventually know when to turn it on
because when I looked up today, now you see some people that are different in the terms of they may not have necessarily the same home training, etc., as, as another person, or they may be a bit different. However, what I'm seeing now is it's like a new form of slavery. However, it's self-imposed with the overseer right at the top. Take, for instance, Love and Hip Hop. No, seriously, like, you're not even seeing the white people that are controlling the puppet strings. You're seeing the black person out in front who's actually promoting and setting people up to behave in the lowest vibration possible. And so what you have is this type of behavior from women who are in one moment in beautiful ballroom gowns, sequins and everything shining, weaves down to their knees, looking amazing. And the next thing you know, they're all over the floor, hair pulling, falling out, cussing, carrying on. And you say to yourself, what in the world is going on?
So do you believe that they not supposed to behave like that because they beautiful people?
No, what I believe is that you're dressing up. It's no different if I wanted to dress up a monkey and call it a man. I can call it whatever I want to call it, but that doesn't make it so. And my problem is that you're dressing up something. See, you can when I was growing up, you understood ghetto. You saw a ghetto chick, you knew she was ghetto, whatever, by her clothing, her speech, her hair, whatever. But see, now they're taking these dysfunctional women, they're packaging them as a product that is well put together, as something to aspire to be like. They're putting them in designer clothes, they're putting them in designer hair, designer shoes, whatever. And then they're saying, okay, smile for the camera, and be yourself. And lo and behold, you create these shows. You have these young children watching these shows, and they aspire to be just like these monkeys dressed up as men.
Can I say something right quick now?
Absolutely.
I've done 3 tapings for reality shows. Mm-hmm. One thing they all had in common is they wanted me to behave in a way that I don't normally. As if the way that I behave is not offensive enough. I don't think that it is. I'm horribly outspoken, offensively outspoken. But they wanted to see me fight with my spouse. They wanted to know if, we had fights and arguments, have I ever suspected him of cheating and stuff like that, stuff that don't normally happen. They wanted to see it happen. They wanted to see some arguments and stuff. But see, that's because the only thing that draws attention is that kind of negativity, that kind of drama. They will make you act that way when you normally don't, just to boost ratings. If you got something that's clean, as pure, as positive, people not going to watch that. That's not what draws money.
Well, that's the sad part. And I think sheeple aren't going to watch it. Real people are looking for something like that. The reason why I don't turn my television on is because there's nothing there that's going to add to my life. It's 60 minutes that I can't get back. One of our viewers says it's emotional imbalance, immaturity, and mental illness, and low self-esteem and self-hate. Most of us just don't know what we're looking at. They end up killing each other because they truly hate themselves and anyone else like them. And yes, I see that aspect, one aspect of it. The second aspect I see is like a personal prostitution. It's like, I don't have very much, and I know that. But what I do have is a high level of ignorance. And if you pay me, I'll show you my pain. I'll show you how ignorant, meaning without knowledge, how ignorant I am in my pain. And so people don't even recognize that they're watching other people's pain. They just think, ooh, their life is really screwed up. It takes me away from looking at mine. Here's the thing. When I was younger, I had issues with myself. I never had issues with the way that I looked. I always knew that I was gorgeous, absolutely. But I didn't feel a certain way on the inside. And because of that, I made certain decisions in my life. Thank God a camera wasn't following me. But the one camera that was taking recordings and viewings were my eyes. And as I saw myself through even my own eyes, my spiritual eyes, I recognized the things that I wanted to change. But what happens is these people get on TV and you see them, they don't have very much, you know, they're jive like ignorant, a little bit ignorant, you know what I'm saying? But they're trying to be in love. They're trying to have, you know, a family. They're trying to have a good time or whatever. And everyone's getting along in season 1. Then all of a sudden, you know, they bring in some drama. Someone has to sleep with the same man that the other person is sleeping with and 2 more people, you know. And then all of a sudden, you know, there's a big fight to get you to look at season 2. There's a big, huge fight out of nowhere. I mean, it's the same paradigm on each show, you know. But what I notice is that on the Caucasian shows, they do some arguing and basically some drunk talking, but there's not a whole lot of swinging and fighting. On the Arabic show or Iranian show, you know, they have a homosexual man standing up and arguing with women. So an effeminate man, you know, pointing his finger in women's face and fighting with women and women fighting with him. But on the black shows, which seem to kind of rule reality TV, from what I was tuning in, you see a bunch of black women. Some of these women, I looked them up. They're not uneducated. Some of these women, you know, well, a lot of it, they call them wives, but most of them are divorcees. They're mothers. Some of them have college educations. Some of them have different certifications, but they haven't worked on their pain at all. Now, if you think about it, and if you put pain in one room, what you're seeing is the byproduct of that. It's almost like when a person has metastatic cancer, you know, and then they like to go in sometimes and cut that person open. And before they can even get out the operating room, the cancer has spread everywhere. Now, it's not like the hospital didn't know that was going to happen because that was one of the risk factors that they told you. So the overseer sets up this programming, and you need to listen when I say programming. They set up this programming for you to behold, for your camera to take pictures of, for you to mentally instill into your mindset, especially if you're emotionally immature like a 10 or 11-year-old child. And you say you can look pretty. You can have on red bottoms. You can have a nice rented house from the network and furnished from Rent-A-Center, but nobody's supposed to know that. You can have this beautiful home. You can have a gorgeous weave. You can get a nose job, a butt job, a boob job, and you can still be as ignorant. Matter of fact, you can be even more ignorant than you have been, and we're going to give you $100,000 for it. Now, the disparaging sad part is when you look up these people's net worth that everyone is seemingly worshiping and following, they're broke. Or what they used to call back in the day, nigger rich, meaning, you know, one wrong purchase and they don't have any more money. But if you look at the producers of these shows, millions upon millions of dollars. And so it's that slave mentality again of making money off of you because you don't know better. Here's the thing. I'm not dissing a person being ignorant and wanting to get paid for it. That show Jackass was on for years, and they did some of the most ridiculous and deplorable stuff. And here's the thing, though. They are millionaires. They got black people, and they're barely thousandaires. You know, something is wrong with that. Who's not paying attention? You know, you're going to get on here and you're going to sell yourself short. You're going to always be on film. You're going to always be on tape. Someone's going to always be able to recall this desperate time in your life and play it back and play it back and play it back. Now, some people are resilient, but what you see now is a lot of people that have been on these reality shows, even these YouTube stars and everything, committing suicide. So, I mean, when it comes to that, Earlene, what do we say? Apparently, it's not really worth it. You got folks tying ropes around their neck and jumping off of buildings.
You know what? If they tying ropes around their neck and jumping off a building, they was capable of doing that before they did what they did.
You know, I think everyone.
They already had. I ain't capable of it.
I think what I'm saying is everyone's capable of self-murder or murder, because if you got hands and feet, you're capable of it. But the thing is, when you don't know how to handle, because you're already emotionally imbalanced, when you don't know how to handle the choices that you have made, sometimes it puts people in a desperate place. I mean, there's even spiritual healers that have done it. There's musicians and artists who have done it, people that are in a lot of pain. And my problem is, when you're still trying to serve the world in this level of pain, where does it begin to show you its disservice? You see these people, I mean, they strung out. They on all types of opioids. They're on meth. They're on heroin. I mean, you put people into a position where they feel like they have to do something. And the next thing you know, these folks are literally doing the most. They say something outlandishly racist or homophobic or whatever, because they've been given a platform to be completely ignorant.
Well, see, the thing is, like, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm telling you, and that was partly 2 of the shows that I did not do, contracts that I did not take. The stuff is staged. All of it's staged, and yeah, it do make them look like a damn fool. But yeah, they doing it for the pay. People like me, I guess.
But the sad part, Early, is the pay is nothing. The pay is nothing. I looked up the salaries today. It's not enough money to make me act a fool. We have a caller, area code 240-476. You're on Grown Folks Business.
Good evening. How are you ladies doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
So tonight we're talking about, is Ratchet the new keeping it real, so to speak? What do you think about this subject, caller?
Well, I'm so glad that you ladies are touching on it, because frankly, I'm a little exhausted of the whole situation, of the quote-unquote realization of it all. There hasn't been real reality TV since season 1 Real World, where it was a social experiment. That's where this is basically jump-started from. And I totally love the analogy that you gave, that today's reality TV is like a form of prostitution, because that's basically what it is. For the highest pay, they go on these shows, act a total fool. The more fool you are, the better, because it does boost their ratings. And as far as the pay is concerned, they use this as what they like to call to catapult their brand. They call it a brand.
Right, so exactly. That word makes me sick.
Yes, and it catapults them to basically do like these little club hostings and potential, not record deals, but EP deals or single deals or some type of lip cosmetic type of thing. They use these things to kind of get to nudge their foot into the door.
And like Earlene is saying, I get it. In their mind, it's success. I get it. If you come from nothing and you don't have anything and you don't really have an expectation, having $200,000 in the bank for acting like a complete moron seems like a really big accomplishment. Probably more than you ever thought you would do, especially growing up in a household where you were told you wasn't never going to be you know what. Mm-hmm. However,
it's the new hustle. It's the new hustle.
Right. And the sad part is everybody's watching you and not in your best light. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I just found out today, yes, people, I'm behind the times, but I don't watch these things. I have to research this stuff for the show. I just found out today that Yandy Smith never even really was legally married to the Mendices guy, even though they had a wedding on TV.
And got paid for the production, the whole production, and got paid for the whole production.
It got paid for. It was beautiful.
But you know what? They was willing to drop off some cash just for me to say that I was married or going to get married.
Are you talking about on the show that they wanted you on early?
Yeah, one of the shows were willing to put me on the show. I say that we engaged, and they dropped extra money for that. Even though we not, that's extra money. That's like another $100,000 or whatever. But like I told them, I really don't. They said, well, you're new in business. No, I'm not new in business. I already got some money.
Right.
I ain't got to do all that.
I mean,
You know
when
what
I
angers
think
me the
about
most about these shows?
what's that, caller?
It's like you said. They when you break it down in the races, okay, all these housewife shows that aren't really, most of them aren't really wives. They're girlfriends or
Right, ex-wives.
Exactly. And the common thread, unfortunately, is the people of color acting the biggest fools. I mean, of course, on the Caucasian ones, you may get
And having the lowest salaries too, by the way, the lowest salaries.
Exactly.
Now, Real
But
Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, everyone goes, well, Nene is paid. Okay, she only has $12 million, people, according to the reports that I looked at. I'm not in her bank account. But the producers have 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 million. She left the show. Life seemed like it was popping great, but you get a little beside yourself, and the next thing you know, you're back on the very thing that you left. And you're making it like, oh, I'm back, bees, and everyone's face is looking. But then you fire somebody because another woman comes on and says that you were helping create the illegal scam that got, her put in jail and Apollo put in jail, but you were an attorney and nobody looked at you. And next thing you know, they're firing one lady and bringing another lady back and paying more money because they really just want your foolishness, and they're willing to pay anything for it. It's like when Dave Chappelle talked about coming into his trailer and there was a dress on his couch, and the white man was sitting there. You know what'll be so funny, Dave? Oh, I'm laughing already. If you just put on this dress. And Dave Chappelle was like, I'm funny all by myself. I ain't putting on no dress.
Jive. They want
I'm not and yes, they've had white men in dresses and all that other stuff too, but for me, listen, I'm partially Caucasian. I get it. But those are the same people in my family who looked at me like I didn't belong. So I tend to be more partial to people who look like me. When I see a black man in feminine clothing and stuff, it breaks my heart. And, I remember when Tyler Perry said, I wish Medea would die. Well, she will as soon as you stop dressing up like her. Nobody can, but that's unfortunately when he does other movies.
That's that chick.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. When you do other movies, people don't really like you as anything but Medea, so they really only want to pay for that. And the movies are getting worse and worse, but people still buy them. I saw a trailer for, I think it was called Boo 2. Halloween or something, Medea. I didn't see the first one. The last Medea I saw was really good, which was the one where Blair Underwood was like a psychopath. What was the name of that movie? But Blair Underwood was beating a girl, and they did the little family reunion. It's supposed to have been a wedding. But
yeah, Medea's family reunion.
Was that it? Okay. That was a really good movie. And now they seem to be heightened on ignorance. And yes, as Earlene said, people are running in droves to pay for that foolishness. I can't call it entertainment. I call it what it is, which is ignorant instability. I mean, I cannot put anything like that into my life. I can't. Now, I'm not going to lie. I looked at Real Housewives of Atlanta the very first season when it came out. I don't remember how many years ago it was, but those women would get along. They seemed to be friends, and all of a sudden, all the foolishness broke out. The same thing with there was a show that it was called R&B Divas. It was a good show. They seemed to be getting along, and then the next thing you were looking like a psychopath. I mean, the one girl from Brownstone? My God, it was like she was a gigantic bully that and I'm not going to lie, I had to stop watching it because I had such a contempt for this lady and I didn't even know her. But eye became so hardened that her name was Nikki, if I even saw her face, I wanted to punch it because I thought she's such a gigantic bully. Somebody needs to bust her in her face so she can learn her lesson. And then I realized you're putting your emotions, you're putting your time, you're putting your talents and your gifts into this foolishness. You need to hurry up and get out. And so I just stopped looking at television. Anything that captivates me, I quickly get out of it because I need to keep my mental faculties about myself, and do what I got to do to maintain my level of maturity, to maintain my level of intelligence, to maintain my own belief system, because I don't want to be pulled into that foolishness. This is the thing, Earlene. If I'm going to prostitute myself, right, but if I'm going to prostitute myself, I'm going to do it the original way. I'm not going to do it this new way. You understand what I'm saying? Well, I'm on here looking like an unstable psychopath, shucking and jiving and carrying on just so that I can get some attention. I'm not going to do it. And so, sadly, caller, what do you think is the remedy, so to speak? I mean, I know you can't ask black people to boycott stuff anymore. They just love to give folks their money. But
what would I suggest people do?
Yeah.
Don't tune in, tune out.
Yeah, tune inward, tune out that stuff. You need to tune in definitely to yourself, and you need to tune out of that foolishness. The programming is really sad, but the thing is, there were a bunch of women fighting for this very hideous man, for the love of flavor.
Flavor of love.
I couldn't believe. I was going through reality shows as I was getting ready for this. I never saw that show. I was confused. It was
incredibly exhausting.
I was really confused. And there was a young woman, I think her name was, her real name is Tiffany Pollard. They called her New York.
New York.
Yes. She went all the way there to be famous. Her mother was like a psychopath. I mean, her mother's energy was ridiculous, but I haven't seen that young lady anywhere. I don't know if anyone knows where she is.
She's still around.
Is she still around?
She's still around, and she done got so much plastic surgery, she don't even look like herself no more. But she's still around.
And that's the thing.
She has a show called Breakfast at Tiffany's now. She used her foolishness brand to now catapult her to having some type of program show, some type of, it's not a podcast, it's like a thing that you can only catch on the internet. It's called Breakfast at Tiffany's, where she...
Oh, okay, so she's still around. Well, Here's the thing. All that foolishness and laying with that troll, I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a nut.
Flavor Flav.
Yeah, but a grown man, I don't know, in his 50s, screaming that out with a gigantic clock around his neck could not crawl on top of me for any amount of money.
Oh, I think
they wanted the precious. They wanted the precious. That's what he looked like. They wanted the precious.
It's like Lord of the Rings, my precious. I mean, listen, I couldn't, and I looked it up today and all of that, and they say her net worth is only $500,000. So I know she was on reality TV kind of when you didn't really make a lot of money. I heard that on The Real World, people didn't even get paid. They got casted for the show, but didn't make money. And so they wanted to, even the show that they used to have, Bad Girls Club. And there was a young woman on there that had a chin like a superhero. And just, I'm sorry, what'd you say, caller?
No, I said, oh no.
Her name was Natalie Nunn. And,
Moon McKnight, yes. Mm-hmm.
Natalie Nunn, and this woman's behavior was outrageous, but she married, a no-name football player. And I guess that's what the point of being on reality TV is, for someone to like you. I know the young lady that was on Flavor of Love, I looked today, Hoops, they called her. She was with Shaquille O'Neal for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess this is what, women are doing to promote themselves or to be seen. But here's my problem. What's with the men that lay with them? Earlene, I'm gonna need you to see into this, because here's the thing. I went to the doctor today. I went to see the yoni specialist, and as I was there, it's obstetrics and gynecology. There were a lot of beings. I'm certain they were human. They were recreating life, and I was sickened. I can barely talk about it now because I wanted to see the men that had done this, and exterminate them, because I just didn't know that a woman that looked like this and was this unkept and this unclean could still get a man. As well as I didn't know that a woman that was so super ignorant could get several men and millions of dollars, because there's a certain type of women that I think their uteruses only work for millionaires. I've been fortunate enough to only get pregnant by broke, but some of these women out here, their babies is like cash registers. You know what I'm saying? They getting that ridiculous child support. I met a guy who's a football player. I won't say his name. He's a nice guy, but he has a baby with a chick that has another baby by an NFL player and an NBA player. I mean, I would classify that as ratchet. She's getting 2 NFL checks and an NBA check for 3 kids. And the sad part is the majority of these women, when these men run out of money, they don't have anything to show for it and can't take care of their kids. Like,
one thing you know for sure is that if you get a taste of wealth, no matter how you get it, whether it's through child support or who you sleep with, you're going to continue to date wealthy people. You're not going to downgrade to a regular foundry worker or something.
I understand that, Early, but here's the thing. If a man sees that you only popping out babies for paychecks, he doesn't think that he should strap up?
No.
Oh, Lord. And this is what he told me. We tend to mess around with the same women because they already know the game. And I was like, the game? What's he talking about? Being in relationships and having children is a game? But he was like, they know what to say to the media. They know what not to say. But then when I look at them, like on Basketball Wives, I'm like, they don't know what to say to the media at all. They don't know how to behave at all. This is outrageous. Caller, are you in your 30s or 40s or, I know they say don't ask a woman, but your age range?
I'm in my 30s.
Okay. So then we're close enough in age where you may remember where black men used to say, man, I can't deal with her. She ignorant. Like, she's ignorant. I can't deal with her. Did you ever come up in that area?
Oh, I did, but like now it's no one really has like a set of standards. It even goes with the guys too. Girls would be like that too. Like, well, I can't date no dude with 3 or 4 kids, but it's slim pickings.
It's not slim pickings. There's so many people out here that are single and emotionally stable. I meet them all the time.
Oh no, I totally agree. This is what they say.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I get things like guys saying, hey, you bougie. You what? First of all, bougie is a derivative. It's the ghettoized word for bourgeoisie, which means middle class. So yes, you're right. I am middle class. Are you using that word to try to describe an attitude? I'm confused. See, that's what I'm talking about. You just bougie. Like, no, I think you just might be ignorant, because here's the thing. I am not interested in what I am not interested in, just like everyone else on this planet. So because I don't want to talk to you doesn't make me a bee or a snob or a cunt or any of those things. It just makes me smart. That's it. I look at you and I recognize that that's not going to take me anywhere that I want to go. You know, it's like back in the day, you could see a guy and you knew he was gonna give you an STD. That's just how fine he was. You was like, I know he got chlamydia because this booger is fine. And you kind of like played double dutch with your life and took your chances. But now you got folks jumping on you when you're trying to leave, jumping on the back of your head, pulling your wig, pulling your weave, pulling your lace front, snatching your edges. You got all this plastic surgery. I heard that this young lady on what is it called? Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. That's it. I looked at a clip of that today. Now, Ray J suggested that him and his homeboys should go masturbate together to see who had the highest sperm count. I'm sorry.
A circle jerk.
I'm sorry. I'm so confused by that. I'll let you do that one because I can't.
No, I don't know nothing about that. That's not normal male behavior, I don't think.
Right. So he says to him and these other guys, whichever one of us has the lower sperm count has to work with Hazel E. And everyone bust out laughing. And so I'm looking up like, who is Hazel E? Well, she used to be a chick who was going with the little teeny man with the relaxer, Cat Williams. She was like his girlfriend or something, but someone told me that she used to be a respected journalist and now she's got on reality TV. They call her all kinds of names. She wants to be a rapper now, but she's done considerable things to her face. Her face she almost looks like a Thundercat. When I saw her, I was like, oh, you know, I just gave away my age, but she looked like Lionel. I was like, what happened to her face? You know, Vivica Fox also did something strange to her face. And, you know, I saw the movie Girls Trip and I really couldn't recognize Jada Pinkett because she somehow looked like an Oriental woman, like her and Little Kim had the same doctor. And I was really confused as to what is going on with our women. Because for a woman that claims to have so much empowerment and so much self-love, what's with the plastic surgery trips? You know, when something is making you not even look like yourself, that tells me that you have dysmorphic disorder. You're not really happy on the inside. And no matter what you do on the outside, it doesn't get fixed. There's a lady, she is Persian, I think. They call her Nikki Baby. Her backside is peculiar. She didn't get a Nicki Minaj. She got like a Nicki Mirage. I don't know what happened, but her booty is like on her thigh meat, and she's always got on like hot pants and these things to accentuate.
Like you wear condoms.
Yeah, and they're always kind of nude color. And she keeps saying, you know, you want to see this body from Nikki Baby, you know, and I'm like, it's a very peculiar body. I'm not sure who did that to you, but doesn't have a problem getting a man.
No, because that's what they like.
What do they like, Earlene? What do they like? Fake booty, fake nose, fake titty, fake hair?
Yep. All that. If a man go for a woman, that kind of woman, and that's obviously what he wants.
A woman who looks like she may be
if a man
with
goes
a
for a woman that's natural, got no makeup, natural hair, or whatever, that's the kind of woman they want. Some men like these women that look like they've been blew up.
I can't. I mean,
they like it.
I'm coming from a place where when I had one child, I couldn't buy a man. Dudes was like, you got a baby? I mean, and I saw dust. Now you can have a UN meeting. Your kids, one of your kids is Chinese, the other one black, the other one Puerto Rican, the other one is.
Cousin
I mean,
has 32 children.
Stop it, Earlene. Stop it.
In my city.
First of all, it must be a man.
Yeah, in my city.
Thank God.
32.
So women he has
women love him.
A United Nations.
And you know what it is?
Plan. What is it?
It's the wood.
Girl, please. See, I had a conversation with a guest, and
He's not
I
a football player. He's not a basketball player. He's not a Fortune 500 businessman. No, it's not. He tell great jokes. He got long hair. And what they say, the wood.
Earlene, it must be 32 idiots, because I'm going to tell you what, there is not a lingam on this planet. Not a lingam on this planet. And I have been digmatized a couple of times for a brief moment. Like, I call it digmatized. It's like hypnotized by the lingam. But I was young. I was a young girl when I was digmatized. There's no way as a grown woman that I would be digmatized. I mean, especially not to lay with a booger with 32 kids. Yuck.
Well, the desperation, the desperation of a woman these days. Okay, women take a lot of stuff. Women will pretty much take what they can get. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But, the success rate of a man is very, it's kind of midways there. It's not a lot of successful people out there. There are, but they don't want a regular woman. They're going for the people with the butt on the thighs and the breast and the lips and the nose that you're talking about. And, it is what it is. Because that's
when I saw this Nikki baby lady, I was like, Michael Jackson still lives. Her nose was so slender. And I saw a picture of her before, and she was a pretty girl. I don't know. She wears lace front wigs. I mean, I don't understand.
Now, I gotta be honest. I don't like the lace front. I don't like that fake baby hair look in the front. It's just nasty.
And this young lady is Persian, I believe, or Iranian or something. So, she's got nice hair up under there. Why the lace fronts, girl? Why the, that booty could not have been done by a doctor. It looked like she went to a pumping party, because it's all types of peculiar on her body. And she keeps saying how good she looks and how, amazing her body is, and how the men, but they all seem to pass around the same broke dude. And here's the thing, people, when you look up these people, like the young ladies on Love and Hip Hop, both pregnant at the same time by a 1990s has-been. Peter Guns, who? I had to Google him. I said, I remember that song. That was fire. But how you going to just have a bunch of kids and fight over a nobody? I'm confused.
Did you see Steve? Now, I watched Steve Harvey a few days ago. Now, one thing that Steve has a habit of doing is he'll see a young lady in the audience that's attractive, and he'll say, "Have you met my son?" Okay. He asked this girl, he said, "Have you met my son?" And she was like, "No, I don't think so." And he was like, "You need to meet my son." "Oh, yeah, you need to meet my son. He's not married." And the first thing she said is, "Do he got some money, Steve?" Steve said, "No, he ain't got no money. He don't have no money." But she was like, "No, introduce me anyway." You know why? Because Steve has money. And she'll date Steve's son that don't have no money just because Steve got some money and hoping that she gonna get some money. And people just be trying to get it in however they can.
Oh, my God. Here's the thing. I mean, ladies... Caller, I'm sure you're a beautiful lady. I mean, are you married? Are you single?
I'm very married.
Very married. Oh, excuse me. Very married. I like that. I'm very married. I mean, I meet a lot of single brothers. I hear a lot of men saying what they want out here. But I'm really confused at what I'm seeing, going down. I'm really confused because I'm not seeing anything that is remnant of relationship material. I'm not seeing anything like that. I'm seeing foolishness.
They don't take the time to get to know each other anymore. The way that this generation gets to know one another is through keystrokes.
Exactly. And that's the same thing even with my show. When I first started, people were calling in and talking, and now people text me. They don't want to talk. They're scared to call in. And I'm just like, are we losing our voice? Are we allowing programming to just, I sat in the house the other day with my goddaughters, and they were sitting on the couch, and the house was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. And they were laughing back and forth, and then I realized that they were texting one another, their sisters.
Mm.
They weren't talking, they were texting one another. And I said, "Are you all talking to each other?" And they said, "Yes, Auntie." And I thought, what is the world coming to? That you sitting in the house next to your sibling and you are texting them. That's pretty crazy. That you are Snapchatting and tagging people. I have people that randomly call my messenger to the point where I was getting ready to turn it off because I have men bold enough to call me on Facebook who I don't even know. And I'm thankful for my callers and my fans and, my supporters and things like that. But I don't really appreciate that. It's kind of stalkery and weird. One of my writers says, people are truly desperate and will do almost anything for money. It's a hoe culture that we are in, and capitalism is now collapsing. So what are all of these hoes, quote unquote, going to do now? And yes, that's true, because in my opinion, socialism is being ushered in. It's being ushered in quickly. And yes, all the people that are hoeing themselves out for $1 are definitely clamoring for attention. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear something. And so, you're absolutely right, caller, when you say it's like a hoe culture, but these hoes ain't loyal, and they not even loyal to themselves.
No.
They not even loyal to themselves. I mean, back in the day, hoes used to have some loyalty. They knew, don't step on my block. Ho, this ain't your block. But now,
that was in the 60s and 70s.
I'm a product of the 70s. What can I say? But, now these hoes is coming up on your block. They running up on your block.
Loyal since Goldie. It was pimping.
You've been out for 5 hours, and all you got is $20, But it's kind of like, the sad part of when you have no loyalty to even yourself. Man, ladies, wake up. Gentlemen, wake up. I almost have to say, ladies and gentlemen, loosely. I went, even the things that people are doing now just to get on the website, people of Walmart. Come on. Some of this stuff, nobody's going to Walmart looking like this. Stop it. I mean, you want your picture up on a website with your whole butt out, with your whole backside with 16 different colors in your hair, just so you can be on a People of Walmart website with your whole stomach out. Stop. I mean, come on. I'm not talking about, one of them Beyonce stomachs. I'm talking about one of them, back in the day, Al Sharpton stomachs. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. With some Daisy Dukes on, which turn into Daisy Pukes, because when I see you, I get sick to my stomach. With 3 kids, that's all dirty at 2:00 in the afternoon. Like, come on, people. What's going on? And this is the thing. You hoes, and you're getting hoed out, because I went the other day to Walmart, and I don't know what they thought, but I don't work at Walmart. I'm not ringing up my stuff, and I'm not bagging it. I don't work here. You got people standing in line, ringing up their own stuff, bagging their own stuff, paying for the stuff, no help whatsoever. See, that's called slavery. And they done fooled you all into thinking that it's convenient checkout. People there with an entire cart worth of groceries. I remember when that line used to be 10 items or less. Now you can ring up your entire WIC check, your food stamps, all of that, all at that little teeny tiny register.
Girl, all I got to say, I don't even want to eat in the restaurant unless they're bringing my water to me.
Thank you.
I can't do it.
I don't work at Walmart.
That does not even serve the purpose of me even going there. I'm
went
tired.
to the cable company. I went to the cable company and found out that I worked there. They say hook it up yourself. And if you want a technician to come out, it's $150. I said, well, what? They said, we give you the instructions and you can call if you need some help. Well, guess what? 2 days later, I still didn't have internet. Nothing was working. They told me I couldn't get an appointment for 2 weeks if I wanted someone to come hook it up. But yet when I hooked it up and nothing was working, I got an appointment the next day and it was free. Listen, people, stop being stupid. You have holed yourself out, like my caller said, you've holed yourself out to the point where you don't even know that you got a pimp. And this planet is pimping you. They're pimping you for your intelligence. They're pimping you for your integrity. They're pimping you for your very soul. And you don't even recognize it. One of my favorite scriptures always used to be, what would it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? See, your soul is not what people tell you going to the devil. Your soul is your thought process, your emotions, and your feelings. What would it take for you to gain everything but lose your own thought process, your emotions, and your feelings? I got a message today from my daughter. She say, my teacher say, you have to sign this. I said, tell your teacher I don't have to do anything because I graduated. Don't you send me no notes, lady. I don't sign agendas because I'm not in the 4th grade. I'm grown. You don't run my household. Some people would think that's rude, but listen, you're not going to run me. That's that little girl's agenda, and she can do what's in it or she can choose not to because it's her life. You think I'm an amen all your little negative comments. I'm not. The teacher wrote in there, difficulty paying attention. According to who? See, that's an opinion that I'm not going to sign off on. I'm going to read it. And that's your opinion, but I'm not signing that because I don't agree with that. My children pay very good attention to people who need to be paid attention to. So if they're not paying attention to you, you're probably irrelevant. It's sad, but it's true because I've raised my children to have a level of integrity and some common sense. She wrote, my daughter wasn't participating because my daughter did not want to alter the notebooks that her mother purchased for her. So she screamed at my daughter and said, now you lose your tiger time or something. My daughter said, I don't even know what tiger time is because I'm a girl. Hello. I was so proud because my 9-year-old has a brain. She doesn't care about tiger time. What she cares about is the integrity of her belongings. And I told her, you should have simply told your teacher that you didn't want to alter your notebook, but you shouldn't have thrown her paper in the trash. You should have given her the opportunity to tell you that she wanted you to do it anyway. And then you could have expressed to her that you liked the notebook that your mother brought you. See, the teacher, instead of teaching my children math and spelling and science like she's supposed to, she done photocopied some dwarfs and want my daughter coloring them and gluing them onto her notebook, and she doesn't want to. And so now she loses her tiger time, whoop-de-doo, because she doesn't want to adhere to foolishness. I'm not mad at my child. I'm glad that she has a brain. I sent her to school to learn, and you got her coloring dwarfs. She don't want to. Now, that doesn't make my child disrespectful, but of course that's what they say, and you want me to sign off on it, and I won't. Here's the thing, America. Stop signing off on BS. Earlene, I can't say the word, Earlene to say the word, but listen, stop amening people's BS. If it look like BS, if it smell like BS, it's probably what, Earlene?
Bullshit.
It's probably what it is. And the sad part is it stinks worse coming out of a human being. So, caller, I appreciate you calling in. You have any final thoughts, any final words for the whole culture, as my other caller said?
No, just what I said before. Just stop tuning into the foolishness and just tune out.
Yes, you're gonna have to get inward, people. Earlene, any final thoughts? Because I know you don't mind that these hoes ain't loyal.
No,
and thank you, ladies, for having me.
Thank you so much, caller. We enjoyed having you this evening. Thank you so much from Grown Folks Business. What you saying, Earlene?
Well, hey, I just want to say thank you, both loyal and unloyal hoes, for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you.
I think our viewers have a little more sense. I don't like the fact that they're not really talking.
Oh no, you got some hoes on here now. You got some hoes on here. I ain't no offense, but I'm sure they're tuning in. They just ain't calling in.
Yeah, right. I appreciate I appreciate my guests. I appreciate you, and I love the fact that you always have a different opinion from me. That makes it interesting. You know, people always say,
now too?
"Caller, can you mute your phone, please?"
I think the Atlantis later.
Caller, can you mute your phone, please? So the funny thing is that, you know, people are constantly saying what type of life they want, but that's not the life that they are actually paying attention to. That's not the life that they are
Right.
showing. That's not the life that they are reproducing for their children. Here's the thing. I saw a post today that said a father said to his son, "Be careful where you walk." And his son responded, "You be careful, Daddy, because I walk in your footsteps." Very powerful. You be careful, Mommy, because I implement and I pay attention to your behavior as well. I reproduce your behavior. And the thing is, if I want to be my highest self and I want to produce something positive, I got to be careful what I project, because I don't want my children walking in those types of negative shoes. We'll be talking about this again next week. We'll be doing this for about 3 weeks. So callers, call in. If you have something to say, we appreciate you.
Yes, please call in.
And we love you. Have a wonderful night. Wrong folks.
I know you're used to letdowns and heartbreaks, lost in silhouettes of your heartaches. I can show you better, babe. I can show you better, babe. I know you're used to letdowns and heartbreaks, lost in silhouettes.